Well, that's what I get for not paying attention to what I did. All right. Well, yeah, the stream is not over. A whole whopping 6 minutes. No. Oh, welcome into Flying with Mike. I hope you all have fun. We have got a schedule planned today. I'm not going to speak of a potential second flight. I want to see how this one goes. We got a little bit late in starting. I actually wanted to be up and running about an hour ago, but family, the little first officer in the house, all of that has to take precedence. We call it life. And without that, folks, life is really dull. Make sure you remember that. Those of you struggling, hey, we struggle because we want our little ones to have it better. We struggle, we take it one step at a time, and believe it or not, it will get better. There was a verse out there. I wish now I'd have thought to look it up, where basically God is working for you. And when he does, he is going to wow your socks off with something you just kind of go, where'd that come from? Literally longer than left field, folks, way out of nowhere. This comes. And it's a true blessing. So, something to think, because I know many out there struggle uh, going through life, and it isn't always going to be rainbows and unicorns and roses, but give it time, be patient. Hey, life is ahead of you. Take in every day. Enjoy life. So, and that's what we do here. And that's why sometimes we get going a little later than we expected. And sometimes we start off a little earlier because life gave us that ability. So just keep those in the back of your mind. We do have a great verse of the day. And watch it be the verse I'm thinking of. So yeah, it kind of is, but this isn't along the expectation route that I was going. So, but Paul wrote in Romans a whole bunch about living that Christian life. And so let your sinful let me try that again. So letting your sinful nature control your mind. Folks, we're all sinners. I hate to break it to you. Those of you that think you're golden, hate to break to you, you're really tarnished. Um, So letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death. That's right. Sin is what ushered in death. But letting the Spirit Jesus gave us on Easter, um, control your mind leads to a life full of peace. Or I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Leads to life and peace. So think about that. Romans 8:6, really great verse to help through days. I mean, I've been struggling. I'm 60 years old, and it is what it is. It's called life, and we live by it, learn by it, and God controls and helps us when we stray. Brings us back. If you haven't read the Old Testament, you'll see it first thing right off. I mean, the Israelites go this way. God says, and they slowly pull back. They go again. He goes, nope. It's a constant tug of war. Ah, what a gracious God. So, but anyway, that's not what we're here for today, but I hope those words helped you out. We're here to fly. We're flying out of Fort Myers, Florida, to DFW, part of event flights for American Virtual, and we're doing it in the Toliss A320. So let's get up there, get things going, and see what kind of damage we can do. We're gonna try also, while I'm on this subject, to try something a little different here. Bear with me a second as I wrong application, this one. I'm going to get our barometric pressure set to as of close to right now as possible. Let's see. Currently in the Fort Myers area, winds are 140 at 7, 10 miles visibility, and it's 29.98. We'll drop it down to beautiful day here, folks. Beautiful, beautiful day. Just to give you an idea, oh, I know y'all will just hate this. It's 86 degrees. Oh, and that was as of 25 minutes ago. Who knows where they're at right now? But it's southern Florida, so you know it's going to be hot and humid. So if you like hot and humid, you're in the right place. Fort Myers, don't leave. If you don't like it, go north. All right, so let's get this show going, shall we? Let's bring in some toolkit here real quick, brief up the flight so you all know what we're doing. Yes, we are on VATSIM already. All right, today's payload. Wow, I can see not a lot of people want to leave Fort Myers. 33,744 pounds of payload. We're going to put in almost the same in fuel, 25,480 pounds. These are all relative numbers. You'll see what I mean when we start the loadout. Passengers will be 148. Cargo, we'll see. And there's the route, the MOOKY to Bags, to the Yankee 290 BACCA, to ROZZI, Yankee 280 to REDFN, Q105 to Harv, J58 to Alex or Ax, which is West or Alexandria, Louisiana. More than likely, we are not flying the Bree 3. We'll be flying, what the heck did it get? Whiny, I think it was. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of whining. Whiny 4. Get the whine 4 times into there. 34,000's where we're going, and as you can see on the map, we have that to deal with. We'll be going right through it, hopefully. We'll see what it looks like along the way. All right, weather. We talked about it, 140 at 7. Kind of favoring runway 6 a tad bit more, but we'll stick with it. 10-mile visibility and just some clouds at 4,100 feet to deal with. So really, departure looking great. Inbound to Dallas. North wind at 12, 10-mile visibility, and a few pesky clouds at 2,000 and up there at 25,000 to deal with. So not too bad of an approach. And no, we're not coming in from the north. That's what the Bree would do. We're going to come in on the whiny. All right. So, and we would be told whiny 4 if we see VATSIM. All right. So I don't know about you, but we'll deal with this when we get airborne and see what we have to do to sneak our way through. But I say, let's get to work, shall we? All right, so we need to first, we've got our flight plan set up. We are American Airlines 1281. Service again is Fort Myers to Dallas. Here comes our load setup. Now, you could do it here under load perf. You could come up here to plugins, pull out the Toliss ISCS, which by the way, same screen, or come down here. And I'm going to kind of zoom in, kind of manipulate a little bit. All right, so let's go mechanical first. Here's what it brings up, a way to do it a little bit more on the panel. Okay, fuel, we said 25,000. So let's click up. And we're looking to throw 479. So we'll go up 1. So we're going to actually have 600 pounds, and we'll request the fuel truck here. There it comes. Then we'll go to the next page. For now, let's go ahead and load that. Can always get rid of it. All right, and then we'll close it out. Go to the ATT button. Make a phone call to AT&T. And unfortunately, 148 people. And that was not what we were intending. Of course not. And we need up 4. Load. All right, now let's go over here. Click W and B for weight and balance. Hit reset. All right, let's check our zero fuel weight. 142, 185. That's what we're estimating. We're still 1,000 pounds shy. Call it. So let's put 400 in each side and see what happens. Okay, now reset to current. 42,165. Well, that's about 20 pounds. We're not going to be able to split hairs anymore. So we'll go with that. So we're going to run with a zero fuel weight of 142,165, 25,600 pounds of fuel. The airplane's loaded. All right, so let's get back down here. Check the throttle, good. Engine masters off. Mode selector normal. Flaps up. Spoilers down, not armed. Parking brake set. And cockpit door unlocked. We'll be back to this in a minute to get rid of something. Actually, let's get rid of a couple of things. All right, and that will get rid of the caterers. And we're going to continue on. All right, so let's head up top. Batteries on. External power on. Cockpit lights, let's check them real quick. They all look good. Look good here and here. We can turn those off. Basically, it's a light bulb check. Okay. Crew supplies on, APU and that. Let's get ADers fired up. On bat. On bat. Okay, and number 3 on bat works there. Good. All right, and I'm not sure where we are on fuel. Oh, we're almost done. Cool. All righty. Okay, nav logo lights on number 2. Strobes are set. Seatbelts will remain off for now, and everything else set. Good. Lights are set. Landing elevation auto. And quick check down here. Got about 600 pounds to load in. And the folks in the terminal will begin to let them into the aircraft. Okay. Going to fire up the APU first so they get into a comfortable plane. Just waiting for the words door open. Flap open, sorry. And we're firing it up. Okay, real quick. Okay, I brought this in so we could go to charts and get our parking gate. Where are you? There you are. We're in D10 over here. 5 through 11, we just need to, hello, clear. All right, go to May 14. Okay, we're still good. Request. Give it a second. It'll fill in all the blanks. There we go. And APU is available. Start cooling this down. Okay. So we did all of this so that we could align this IRS to 2631.8 north. 2631.8 north. We need 8145.5. Click. Perfect. Align. And now, when the clock ticks to 0, it will align at the gate. Well, wherever D5 through D11 these coordinates line up with. A lot closer than possibly out in the middle of the field to where the aircraft is. Get our winds. And we'll go to page 2. Trying to remember things. Okay, real quick, 142. I love my computer when it does that. 142.2 I can go with, but I can't with that. So slash, oops. We're looking at ZFW 28.2. 25 points. Hang on, fuel 25.6 to 5.6. All right, now the numbers have updated. We look good on times. And I will attempt to do this right. There we go. All right, now comes one of the fun parts, the flight plan. So we're going to put in this route or verify this route is in there. Okay, there it is for you to view. I am going to use this to verify. I'm going to bring charts in because we've got to set up our departure. Okay, so we go to KRSW departure 24 and let's see what comes off. Does not look like anything makes it nice for us, so cancel. So we're just going to go straight off 24 to MOOKY. Okay. Insert. Then what I'm going to do is basically with the up arrow, just kind of scroll my way. There's MOOKY bags and Yankee 290. So I'm going to watch over here. Okay, everything's looking good. BACCA. Okay, then we go to ROZZI, NADI, REDFN, and then FATSO HRV. What we're looking for are discontinuities along the way. PB and X, or Alexandria, to PNUTS. All right. Now we're going to change. All right, so now we're on the Winnie 4. Now, I personally, well, we're actually headed to the Alpha Gates. Scheduled wise, now what we actually get en route will be maybe different. Let me bring charts in. We're going to go ahead set up for this runway. 36 left and hope we get Terminal A. I'll explain why we're hoping, because technically I can just taxi to it, but we're going to try something today. Can't do it yet. Oh, dang it. Okay, yeah, that'll work. And we'll just go with Alan. Yeah. See how I did that? I just basically told it 36 left ILS, Alan, and we'll line up on it. And there's the first officer coming into the flight deck finally. It's about time. How was lunch?
All gone. All gone.
And now she's pulling all the chains. Just don't hit the starter button. Oh, she is so funny.
We're gonna go take a nap.
Ooh. She cracks me up.
All right, girlie. Time for a nap. Look. Mwah. See you in a couple hours.
See me in a couple hours, okay? You know how first officers are. They have to go get their beauty sleep. Yeah, I can just hear any real captain out there going, yep, that's so true. Oh, wait, it's supposed to be the captain that does that. Anyway, yeah, we try to have a little fun here. Okay, so if you read across top ILS 36 left, we're going to come in via Allen, right there, off the Winnie 4 PNUTS transition. We're going to insert it. And then we can actually see how we did. Let's get the Winnie 4 up here. Here's PNUTS. So let's see here. PNUTS, Clues, Horko, Popsy, Bree, Whiny, Howdy, Brems. We're looking good so far. And over to, ooh, yeah, we'll keep it like that because we may get vectored. Houghton and Char should be seeing a runway here soon. Missed approach is out to Kegel, which is correct, and alternate today, Houston. And no, we do not have a problem. Welcome into Discord, everyone. Hope your day is well. I'm going to go mute here for a minute while we get set up. But enjoy. All right, so we got the flight plan in, GPS primary. Let's go to RadNav. Okay, we're set and perf. Takeoff performance. Runway 24, oh, where's my map? All right, let me get the plane back where it belongs. There we go. I may cut some of this off just to get us along on our route. As of 42 minutes ago, 140 at 3:30, 29.98. You know what? We're just going to go with these numbers. 167. 167. I like to verify my takeoff weight. It's come back to get me a couple times. Okay, we got a 12,000 foot runway. Let's try flexing air conditioning on. And let's see where it ends up. Oh, that's actually not bad. All right, so let's try flaps 2 though. Take that even more. I would, but why'd you do that? Okay, so that'll work. Uplink 2988. We're 14. Okay, we're flexing. All right, flex takeoff data. Temperature, okay, they put us up a degree, still the same numbers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, insert. And we'll just go with these numbers. Transition level, though, is not 5,000. Okay, we are just about ready to push it back. Hang on a second. Okay. I don't think this works the way I was told. All right, well, we're not going to spend our time on there. We'll work on that. Somebody told me there's a way I may be able to get our departure gate. We're already there, but possibly our arrival gate. We'll see. We'll try it again in flight, but we'll see. All right, let's finalize this. We've got our squawk code, by the way, already from VATSIM. It is 33. By the way, why don't we set up here real quick and get these set up? All right, while we're at it, let's get our CTAF. Oh yeah, you got to put an airport code in there, folks. 28750. Oh, there we go. All right, so we've got Unicom on active currently. Standby is our CTAF frequency here when we're ready to push, as well as our emergency VATSIM controllers can yell at us on to contact them. And if you want, you could monitor Unicom just in case. By that I mean you would turn it to active when you're on CTAF, so you could hear if somebody is lined up on the opposite way or your way. And then we'll get these on. Okay. All right, squawk is set to standby and we're good. And initial climb. All right, so let's get up here. Flight directors are saying 2998. Okay, just double checking. No, nothing new. LS constraints. Okay, we're set on ARC. We'll set it to 20 VOR, VOR. Okay, managed for speed, managed for heading. Initial climb out of here is straight up 34,000. Double check that. There it is. I knew there was a way I could do it right from where I am. 34,000. Okay. And continuing. Cockpit lights are set. Beacon lights will come on. Fuel pumps ready to come on. Seatbelt. First off, let's kick away. Just checking something real quick. Okay, I do have something in there. Okay. And last but not least, so I can get credit for this run, okay, we are up and running. All right, we're ready to push. Let me just take a look outside, see what we need to do. Okay.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, we're ready to go. Let's take a look out the windows here.
Some doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Yeah, Fort Myers traffic, American 1281 at stand Delta 10, pushing back for runway 24.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
All right, we got a light off on number 2. Now what we're looking for is a veil right above the EPR of number 2. Okay, once you have that, unless you've been told otherwise, you can crank up the other engine. Or you're Southwest Airlines and they crank them both at the same time. No, because as soon as that tugs away, they're away. Boy, Southwest's
Just
really...
down here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
I did that with another hand. There we go. Okay. All right, now we're waiting for a veil on number 1, and then we'll do the after start checks. All right, let me start a 3-minute warm-up counter. All right, engine mode to norm.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
And thank you for a good pushback. Cool. All right, flaps to 2. Auto brake, did I click that yet? Nope, max. Okay, oop, one too many, there we go. All right, so we're looking at up 1. Okay, we're ready for taxi. Final checks here. Clear. And start this timer. 2.5 minutes to go, or a minute and a half. Exponder flight controls check. Taxi clearance. Here we go. And Fort Myers traffic. American 1281 will taxi to 24. Now the old terminal area was this bare area over there. Guess they ran out of room or something. So they built a whole new terminal. That was about 20, 25 years ago, if I remember right. My dad would be better knowledged in that since they lived in Fort Myers at a second house for quite a while, actually. Unless Hurricane Charlie did something to it, because that's possible, because they took a pretty big hit from Charlie. Back, I believe that was the year of Katrina. So a lot of big, big hurricanes happened that year. Okay, let me pop myself back into Discord now that we're taxiing. The big long cigar of Airbus. Okay, while we're taxiing. Okay, so before taxi, got that going, weather radar's going, rudder trim reset, transponder going to normal, set, reset, TARA. Takeoff briefing performed. We're just going to take off runway 24, fly straight out, and then probably maybe think about a direct to, I don't know. We'll have to see. Be honest, I don't have the information in front of me, so we'll see. Maybe to BACCA and then on course. Okay, I'm ready to go. Finally, at the line, takeoff clearance obtained, all lights on, flaps 2, and got nothing blue, all green. And Fort Myers traffic, American 1281 departing, runway 24 straight out. Right. Rotate. Okay, flaps are coming up. Boy, that kind of looked like a nice little storm out there, or it's just low clouds. Just low clouds. And we're on our way, and we're headed up to 34,000. Let me no step climbs. All right, we're on our way. Glad you're aboard. Hope you all enjoyed that. Little early. Well, we're actually right where I'd like to be normally on starts. We're going to attempt a second flight if when we get to Dallas there appears to be enough time. It too is about 3 hours in length. That's why that we have already canned and ready to go. So we'll kind of see, but welcome in everyone. Thank you for joining us here. Just catching up on some behind the scenes stuff here real quick. But all right, we're on our way. There's 10,000. All right, flaps are up. We're building speed. The one thing about the A321, and I'll be honest, I haven't been able to pin it down yet. Ooh. Looks like Silly Billy has a whole bunch of cool aircraft coming in. Real world. Very nice. What up? Got some great pictures there. Yeah, I've got a little time now. I can start scouring. Ooh. Hey, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. uh, oh, let me tune everyone in. I'm going to bring us live if that's okay. All right. Yeah, I just, we have Silly Billy, otherwise known on the stream. Are you still by your other name on the stream?
Yeah, Shampoo Farm.
Yeah, Shampoo Flyer. And he is not going to recount what happened in Vegas because, like I said, as you all heard, what happens in Vegas has to stay in Vegas.
Yep.
That is the rule. So
Let's just say, long story short, for about an hour, I had no way to get home.
no way to get home. There's always a way.
Yeah, well,
It's called a thumb.
I didn't have a way to get home for an hour, so I was kind of panicking.
Just stick a thumb up and you can usually find a ride.
Well, you see, the ride costs money, and money is something I did not have.
Ah.
Thank you, bank.
No, you need to stay out of the casinos.
I'm 19. I can't gamble. No, my card got canceled halfway through the trip.
Yeah.
I was like 10 miles away from the airport. It had a boarding starting in 30 minutes, you know? And I'm like, oh, God. So, but anyways, there's the airplanes.
Very cool indeed. And you, sick, welcome aboard. Thank you, sir, for the hat do.
Which one do you think is your favorite? If you have to look at these photos.
Oh, from those
which one do you-
pics?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me bring them back up. And folks, if you're curious what we're talking about, head over. Hang on a second. Yeah, I know, shameless plug. To the Discord channel for Flying with Mike under plane spotting. Kind of like that JetBlue. The bigger picture.
Yeah.
Only because it's a, you know. Although that 7.6, although off-centered, looks pretty good too.
Oh, I kind of keep it off center, kind of.
Well, I know you're not allowed on the runway. I get that.
No,
Why do we keep you off the runway? I know.
How dare they? No, it's supposed to give like scale, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that light post there, so it kind of gives that scale of the plane.
Ah, that's a 300 too.
Mm-hmm. It was a biggie. I waited like an hour and a half for that thing to land from JFK.
When did we depart out of there? Now, granted, this would have been too many years ago. I think the British Airways flights and Virgin were coming in that we had to wait on. How dare they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a KLM and a Speedbird coming in, but I was like, I'm not waiting 8 hours for these guys to land.
Ooh, overflight Emirates. Missed those up there. Those were a couple weeks. How'd I miss those? No, I didn't. I've seen those now.
I was about to say, they've been there for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, what's this high above? That Delta high above?
Which one?
The high above shot flying.
Oh yeah, that's a Delta 330.
Ah.
200. Not even a 900. It's a 200. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they picked up a lot from Northwest.
Yeah.
When they got them, boy. Airbuses all over the place. And shame they got rid of the 7.4s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, very nice. But I think the JetBlue one, I like because of how it's centered in the frame. It just looks good. That's a 320. Okay. No, wait, that could be a 321.
Oh, the American? Yes, 321.
No, the JetBlue.
Oh, the JetBlue? No, that's a 321 Neo.
That's a Neo? Okay, yeah, because going by somebody that tells us how to spot Airbuses, he doesn't understand configurations that airlines do. To include the American. Well, there's two big configurations for the A321. This configuration where you have the two big doors front and end and two over the wing. I don't think there would be one behind the wing, but anyway. Or two in front, two in back of the wing, both sides, plus an over the wing. One over the wing.
I think it's the LR. So, because I know it has to do with ETOPS and like seating configuration. So I think American has more seats in their planes than.
That's just how many people they throw in them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Allegiant, it's so funny because Flight Factor only gives you 134, 36 people. Flight Factor, by the way, they do go up to 180 in the A320. Can tell you, ask Allegiant Air. Just them alone, let alone the rest. So, but those are very nice pictures.
Thank you. I think my favorite's the second one, the Frontier one, in kind of like the green area.
Hang on, I was working the panel here.
Yeah, you did.
Let's just
got you
do
set
that.
on this
Oh,
side.
wrong way. Let's go. Oh, no land anymore.
Or over the water, I guess. Where
Yep.
you weren't supposed
No, we're over the Gulf of America now.
to. Oorah.
I love that. You said the Frontier landing or the one straight on?
Yeah. The one landing where it has kind of like the green and the power lines.
Yeah, that does look good. Yeah, now
And I
that's
like
a
the
different
schematic.
321 setup.
That's the
Where,
same as the American 320. Wait, no, it's not. They have the two aft.
oh, yeah, it
They don't
is.
got one.
It is exactly like the one we were looking at for JetBlue.
Is it? Hold on, let me see. I think JetBlue. Does JetBlue have the aft door?
They
I
have
don't know.
both of them will have front and aft. I didn't know the middle door or the door right behind the wing was still there.
Yeah, hold on, let me. I have more angles of that JetBlue. So let me see. Where's it at? Is it?
Like I said, I couldn't see behind that big fat engine on it, so.
No, it does. It does not.
Oh, it does not. Okay.
No, so it's like a cutout door. So it's there, but it's not an actual door. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, because you got to understand, they have to be able to evacuate that plane in a minute and a half. So they have to have the correct amount of doors to achieve that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, I mean, it makes sense because they have a lot of first class on their 321s. They have those lie down flat beds in the 321s, so it makes sense why there's no door in the front middle, but in the aft middle in the economy spot, it kind of makes sense.
As long as you can get all the peeps out, because that's when firefighting gets to be a little rough. Then you got to get another truck in there to keep that evacuation open.
Yeah. Let me get this other photo here. You can see it. It was like 90. Where was it? I have so many photos, it's crazy. Here we go. Yep.
Now, see,
I have to put it.
I would like to do what you did, except on a day Nellis is active with red flag.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Seeing
But
not only our planes, but all the other countries that may be participating.
Yeah.
I've seen them come through Mid-America refueling en route. So there were some fun ones. Whether they stop and go at Mid-America, I have no idea. Or better known as Scott Air Force Base. But there were some notables.
Here's a side profile of that 321. I'll post it right now.
Yeah, spending a day like that off the end of the runway. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
So you can see
Oh, they
it's
don't
like,
have a door in the back.
They do. It's like
I
a
see
little
it's.
cutout.
Yeah, it's like
So you
the
can see
Max.
Yeah, like you can see the compartment for the emergency slide.
Yep.
But it's not an actual access door. It's like a
Emergency only.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I think that is emergency door only. I think it's one of those doors where it pops off. It doesn't actually have a hinge. Like when you take it off, it comes off, you know?
Never been in, so I can't say anything about it. So.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna fly from Boston to New York or to London to see, so we can get some photos of this door. It's still weird how they fly to London with these planes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That plane's London.
Well, there's a video out there. Just Flight, is that the name of the company that does all the videos?
Yeah.
If you want a good one, watch the Polar Ops. About 3/4 of the way through, it's a 6-hour video, by the way, folks. It's a long one. They're going to talk about jobs they had. And one of the and some of the milestones they and Air Canada went through. And Air Canada flying an A319 from Canada to Europe. And how many literal double takes were given when they said type aircraft A319? What?
You mean A330 by chance?
No, they were doing the first flights. It's really a great video on both dispatching and then, of course, flying over the pole. From Toronto to Hong Kong. Hong Kong Phooey.
That's the fun part of having to save all these photos to my phone so I can post them.
So we're just about to cruise altitude, everyone. Again, welcome into Flying with Mike. We have Shampoo Flyer on with us in Discord. We're en route from Fort Myers to Dallas, Fort Worth. And let's get the time up there so y'all, we only have an hour to go. What? Hour and 49. Wow. That's a lot shorter than what they estimated at the airline when I booked this. I expected nearly 3 hours. The one thing we were going to try now, when we get within 200 miles of DFW, we'll try it again. I know Toliss does not, should not, let me rephrase that, should not have the ability for us to get gates, arrival gate information off virtual or American Virtual. Although I think I need to connect to some site to put in for the station, but I can't find any information on that.
That's goofy.
So we'll just keep chugging it along. Yep, pretty much. Seems like that to get the Airbus up to altitude sometimes, the 321. Boy, it seems slow to climb.
Especially when you're heavy. I used to do a lot of 321 ops. Yeah, that's like, come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
I don't even think the Neo climbs any faster.
No, I think the Neo climbs a little bit, just because it's higher power engine.
That's what I was thinking, but I really just don't pay attention as much as this one obviously is slow.
You're slow. Oh, let's go. That one vertical photo, I made it my background on my phone. I was like, I want a phone wallpaper because my old one's kind of old.
I've got a granddaughter that, or granddaughters that fill mine.
Nice. Yeah, I'll get there one day. Not today, though.
All right. Into cruise. Seatbelts off.
There we go. That's way better. Ah, man. One more day, and then it's the weekend.
Yeah, I got one more day tomorrow to work, and then I get 2 days off.
I thought you were retired.
I wished. But we definitely need the money, so I've got to keep working. I finally did find a job after 11 months of unemployment.
Ooh. What you got?
Huh?
What you got?
Cleaning floors.
Ain't too bad.
Yeah, but at my age, bending down and scrubbing is rough.
Yeah. Do you have like a knee pillow?
Well, I'm going to have to get knee pads, but got to get some money to be able to do that.
True.
But yeah, it hurts. But if it's helping us pay the bills, that's what I got to do. I still
They
have my
started getting-
CDL, I might get back in the truck to do it too, but I don't have my CDL anymore, so
You just gotta go like back to the DMV to get that.
I have to, in Illinois, I'd have to go back through training. So a lot of money out front, and yeah,
Like what, 2,500, I think.
it was 3,000 in 1992.
Oh my gosh.
6
So, like,
weeks, $3,000.
Dang. Okay, because the one I was looking at is like 2,100, but it takes like 2 months.
Well, that was 92, like I said.
Yeah.
What it is today, I do not know. And personally, I don't want to get in a truck.
Yeah. They're fun sometimes.
Not really.
Well, when it's like the long hauls, you're like, oh.
Not really. Well, single is a whole different story than married.
What do you mean?
You don't have a family waiting for you at home. When you're single, who cares? Go where, stay out as long as you want on the truck.
Yeah.
Some guys are out there for months on end. But
6 months.
yeah, I did 2 months and it was rough.
Yeah.
Dealing
Especially,
with traffic, dealing with docks, I mean, it's not as, now you got to pay to park in many areas. It's a pain in the rump now out there.
Yeah.
Parking's
company I work
few
at,
and far between.
there's no sleepers, you know?
Yeah, there's
just-
sleepers.
Dropper. These are just like drop and goes, you know, and then go back to the hub. Which is nice because we don't actually have to like stay out on the road for that long, which would
True.
like, actually kill me. So,
That we
but
call
still,
local, but yeah,
yeah. we're
I
local,
was long
mean,
haul.
Those are, oh my god, I can't imagine like Alaska to Miami drive.
Be fun to see the scenery, but that's all you're gonna see. 55 mile an hour going, oh, that was a neat mountain, and
You get to,
it's already behind me.
across the border. Yep.
But no, I never got to Alaska.
Thankfully, it's local.
Did some Canada, mostly in the eastern side, Quebec and Ontario.
Yeah, I think the worst for us is that we have to go in the San Francisco area.
Ooh.
That
Well,
with the 40
I've heard LA. I heard all the bad stories about LA, even going in on the radios, not CB, just AM FM.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad for me. Now, I saw some of what people warned me of and what the radios were saying, but for me, I was able to get in, get out, and so forth, except one time where I got shut down at a weigh scale, but that was my fault.
Yeah, we had last week, not me, but one of the drivers. They were overweight, and it was to the point where it was a misdemeanor.
Wow.
And we're like, whoops.
Yeah.
'Cause we're
That's
metal.
actually easy to do if you're talking like a port city.
Yeah.
I actually came out of Baltimore. Thankfully, I was smart enough, like I always did, to hit a truck stop not too far from the port. Mainly because I like to eat there as well and then take off on wherever I'm going. I did not catch, or even my dispatcher who got a copy of the bills, it took him, this is in kilograms. They loaded me how my truck could handle, but instead of pounds, they use kilograms.
Ew, average sim brief mistake.
And it was pretty much double what the normal would be for pounds. So I was normally able to roll between 40 and 44,000. I think maybe 48 at the most. And so double that. He asked me if I tried getting back into the port, and they got me squared away. But I've had it where sometimes you couldn't, and then they'll take the punishment coming, the fine. Now you're saying they're hitting, because that would have been serious. I would have been.
Dude, yeah, you're like, 40,000 pounds over.
I did no. Yeah, I could be close to that. I was 25, I think, over.
Okay.
But I went back and they got it squared away. But
I don't know if you were like at max payload for pounds and they
well, 40. It was either 40. I forget what I could run with a box, but I believe it was up to 48. But it could have been 45, and that would have been my max I could take on the truck.
Yeah, ours are 42, but we have
So-
the steel just flatbeds,
My flatbed, I could put 53 on if you give me warning and I can bring my fuel down. So I can burn it off before I go in. I could run 53 on mine, and that was with the sleeper and all my gear and all of that.
That's heavy.
Well, that's what they wanted me for, so they could take scrap steel, coils, whatever, and not have to well, you can't permit unless it's one piece. And yeah, so that's what I did a lot. Pushed it right up. And it's amazing how I got some of those loads on, but I did. And they were legal at the point that I left, and then I knew there were no scales, so I was okay.
Yeah. You're like, oh, no scales, let's go.
Unless the portables come out.
Does not sound too fun.
That's a lifetime ago for me.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I want to eat though.
All right, we're starting to get to these storms up here. Let's see what we're doing. And if you're just tuned in to Flying with Mike, welcome aboard. We have Shampoo Flyer on here on Discord. You're welcome to join us. Exclamation mark Discord, and you'll find out how to get in here. Yeah, we are getting into those storms, or they're just ahead of us. It's a stormy day on the southern coast. Looks like from not Beaumont, Texas, but Bay, like not Bay St. Louis. Anyway, Lake Charles. That's what I was thinking. I know Bay. I mean, that just triggered it. But anyway, from like Lake Charles over to Mobile, and then out to sea. Big blob of rain and storms.
Sounds fun.
Hopefully we're high enough, as I don't think the winds will let us get much higher.
Oh, your engines.
All right, now we're about a 42 knot headwind.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, more of a quartering wind, but still. And there you can kind of see them in the distance there, the storms. And if you look at the radar here, you can see them starting to show on the radar. By the way, if you all did not know, X-Plane 12.2.0 has updated to Beta 5. We're in Beta 5. It looked to me, and you can get over to our Discord site general and you can see the update information, or over at X-Plane. But mostly some shadowing issues with clouds.
Do you have add-ons for clouds?
No, this is strictly what X-Plane 12.2.0 is.
Nice.
What's up?
What's up, Godspeed? I don't see you up here. Where are you?
Very funny.
You got scared of the rain.
He saw the thunderstorms and went, "No, you want to fly in thunderstorms? Here you go. Take off from New Orleans."
Dude, I keep getting called by these scams. Annoying. It's like,
Oh,
do you
my
own
favorite.
anything in back taxes?
Oh, I got a good one. I got to find out if that friend request is any good, but um, they change the name of the company every new try to get me to fall for the scam.
Yeah.
But it's basically they found my resume and would like to present an opportunity. Flexible remote, only works 60 minutes a day. Believe me, if that was a real deal, I would be hearing about this from a lot of people. 60 minutes a day. They'll pay you $300 to $900 a day. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, at least it's a US number you hit on WhatsApp. Usually it's overseas. Still think it's somehow overseas, but I think it's time to say report junk and delete. Yeah, you could work 60 minutes a day and make 900 to, or what did I say, six, or whatever I said. It's already gone. My wife's been getting those kind too. So quit sending them, you two. The sun, moon, and stars no longer visible through thick fog. Huh.
I'm back.
Keep waiting to see. Have now included northern lights. Not there yet.
Hey, you might want to update your title to B5.
Oh, thank you. You're right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. NUS6 asking, having a potato or having settings too high will make it worse. Yeah, they're still working on it, but they look a lot better. Now, granted, when the thunderstorms are lined up like this, yeah, they're kind of iffy. Or at least the way they look on the some of the flight trackers I'm using. They're getting a lot better with the way the textures are, though. Okay, done. And where are you? There it is. Well, at least it's not a Borg cube like I ran into in Amsterdam a few months ago. That was hilarious, but that was not a fun flight. Wow. Autopilot couldn't even hold up to it. Excuse me. There we go. Up, here we go. Starting into them. I mean, they're not the greatest, but they're also not the worst. They've actually come way full circle on these clouds.
Have you ever tried landing from that side of the plane?
But from the right side?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I could try on this one. It's no different than landing over here. Now, in the real world, the way I'm set up cockpit-wise, with the way my throttle is over on my left hand, stick on the right, yeah, that's pretty much just like it would be for the first officer's side of the house on the Airbus. Or if you were flying a 737 from that side, you'd have your right hand on the yoke and left hand on the throttles.
I heard when like pilots are flying, like one pilot will have like the terrain radar on one screen and the other will have the weather on the other screen.
Yep. Or both. So used to be it'd be in the center here, but they've gotten away from that.
Oh, like how I do in the Boeing
Yeah.
and the 738. Yeah. It just seems like it's more like I don't know, better for me when I do that.
You know, and that's what it's all about. It's what's comfortable for you. I've watched several Just Flight videos, 747-400s. I think they were all freighters, but they might have been a passenger one in there. Where that lower middle was the radar set to like 80 to 160 so they could get a good scan out there and then figure out how to go around. Yeah, it's some neat stuff you learn on those videos, the real guys do. But yeah, I mean, I could look at these clouds also, and they look great, but I mean, there's issues, but it's default. It's not an add-on program. So are you coming out of New Orleans there, Godspeed? You'll be right smack dab in the middle of all of these storms.
There it is. A house in New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm doing a flight from Norfolk to where was it? Newark.
Ah, Norfolk up the coast. Okay. Yeah, I need to head back to the garbage can, LaGuardia. Try that. Try and catch a day when the express is on again, and try that again. That was such a fun approach.
I still haven't seen these birds yet.
I haven't seen a bird yet either, except for the one that I'm flying in the air. We're going to go through this storm.
I think they're lying, man.
Fake news all around.
Well, now they want to fully impress me. If we ingest a bird, I want to hear an engine go out, maybe.
I think that's not an X-plane though. That's the creator of the plane.
Well, I mean, if you fly a default, say, A330.
Yeah.
It said in the updates that they like did something with birds.
Yeah, I know they not this update, but yeah, the one before that. Wait a minute, balloons will no longer spawn in Class B airspace. Wow,
Aw,
somebody actually read the regs.
I like that. You know, I like the Microsoft flight sim of was it like
But I've
2009?
I've only seen balloons on the ground. I've never seen them in the air. I don't know if I have to turn something on though.
Traffic maybe.
Well, I'm not turning AI traffic on. I did that once and my frame rates tanked.
Yep.
It's underneath
Which
the
makes
boat
sense.
thing. It's added in there. The boats, the outline with the boats and the balloons. It's like all in one.
Oh, it's all with the boats.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in hyperspace, folks. Oh, you can't see it as well anymore. Believe me, at night you might. The XPLM destroy avionics no longer causes X-plane to crash. Never heard that. The XPLM I've gotten, but not since I've gone to Beta 5. I haven't started it outside of the installer. All right, we're starting to get into the first cell here. Can't wait till they get all of these weather radar updates in.
Can't wait till they add the Northern Lights back.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the Northern Lights in X-plane.
They used to have it in a setting to where you could turn it on and off, but they took it out. I think you could probably still do it in 11 now.
Boy, it's just not boding well ahead of us. About 50 miles, what's that, REDFN? We make that turn right into a pretty significant cell. Should be coming out of this one. Oh, there's the coastline. Barely visible, though.
What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's already 11. Huh.
I actually have 12:55.
Yeah, it's 10:55, but like I'm rounding up.
I know. If you're out on the West Coast, I get it.
Yep. I'm on the best coast. I mean, West Coast.
No, the left coast.
That too, sadly. That too. Let's see. It's hot. I feel like my fan is not fanning.
Yeah, sorry about that, Inusick. Missed your post there. Yeah, they are arguably a little iffy, but they are making huge steps. You're right in that, in the right directions. And wow. I'm still wanting the radar. I like to be able to look at this the way they showed us in the video. I know Toliss, now the A320, 21, and 19 all have the knobs for the most part working on the radar. The 330 doesn't, and they specifically said until X-Plane releases that. So I'm kind of curious. Wow, we're going to be in this next cell for quite a bit.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna go do a few things around the house.
All right.
So,
Have a good one.
I'll
Thanks for
see you guys later.
stopping by.
whee!
Boing. Climb a bit or divert. Actually, we had a flight with the rotate. Oh, what was that? A couple weeks ago from Roanoke to Memphis, and we had storms all over the place. We had bad storms here where I live, and down in Memphis. And I don't know if he was, I'm going to say he's probably a PMDG driver, but he might have been flight factor, and he was circumnavigating the storms out of Memphis towards wherever the heck he was going, Indy or somewhere like that. It was pretty cool. And I mean, I could do that right now in essence. Oh, that's pretty cool. But then I'd have missed this. See what it looks like out the other side of the aircraft. Hey, get that cloud. Move that cloud. Chewie, take us out of hyperspace. Man, this, boy. Wow, just kind of snaking through there would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Wow, we're going to turn right into that one. Wow, you could literally almost do that. Okay, that's about the clearest we're going to get. Actually, that's not too long of a line. We just went through one just like that. This is, oh my goodness. Beta 5 on display. Yeah, we got the seatbelt signs on. All right, I know Elevatech won't tell us much, but we got quite a ways to go up to Alexandria, so Is there someone out here that I could be? Nope. Got about 20 more miles of this storm to go. And then pop out again. Quite a soup. Yep. Need to stir it up a little bit. Here, let's try something. Broaden it out a little bit. I've always wondered when we got into storms. Well, I've actually, to be truly honest, I don't think we've ever flown through thunderstorms, just some turbulence. But I always wondered what it looked like out the cockpit through these. Not flight sim, I'm talking real world. And like I said, I don't think of all the flights we've done, I've never been through heavy weather. The worst little bit of snow into St. Louis a couple of times. And that same one of those flights we had to descend because of turbulence. True, they do tend to avoid them. I've seen a Legion take some pretty, coming from southern Florida, getting out over the Mississippi River and coming up that way instead of straight shot to St. Louis. But yeah, flight sim makes it fun. We get to fly through. Right now, it doesn't look too bad to HRV, which, by the way, is New Orleans, for those curious. So we're just about to New Orleans. With about just under an hour to go to DFW.
I don't know if you heard me or not.
No, I didn't.
I said I'm still here. I'm just trying to get this bird in the air.
Well, flap its wings.
Yeah.
No problems. I'm still going through thunderstorms, enjoying. Wow. Oh, man, they really look pretty good. Of course, I've never been up in the front of the aircraft going through stuff like this or near it. Would love to have seen it. But
You would probably
wow.
get scared in real life.
Well, like Inusic said, we normally would go around. And like I said, I've seen some pretty way out of route to get around these things. Passenger comfort, plane. I mean, you're worried about your plane too. It does take a toll on it. So it just means, okay, now this flight and subsequent flights this plane flies will be under delay. Hey, better than losing a plane and all those people. We are right over New Orleans. Probably out celebrating something. Looks like, oh, there we go. Man, they have done a pretty good job for default weather. Now I can't imagine what the third-party weather creators out there will come up with this as their underlying start.
I wonder why I wasn't moving, man. I was still connected to the tug.
Hey, what's that flying in the air? Tug with that airplane? Norfolk to New Jersey, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna run maybe into some rain up there too.
My weather thing opened up on NavGraph.
Well, hang on. Let me show you Elevatex point of view. Norfolk down here by the ground, Virginia Beach, all the way up here to the New York area.
Does that cost money?
Elevatex? No. I don't know if it's full beta yet where everyone's allowed at it or not. I'll be totally honest. But it's the clearest weather out there that I can show. Sim Toolkit is not the greatest, and I can't find a good radar to use. I thought I had one at one time, but I don't know.
Just use NavGraph.
Do what? Oh, I could do NavGraph too. Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty accurate, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Let me find my
Oh,
plane.
wow.
Let's see. I'm going to bring up
I'm gonna be flying
shots.
through a storm, all right.
And weather. I mean, it looks pretty good. Here's charts showing the weather. And like we'll be in this one till PB, and then we should break free at Alexandria, and completely out of it by PNUTS. Trying to give us some lightning, I think. All right, how far out are we? 280 miles, 260 miles from top of descent. And about 50 miles from DFW itself. So we're doing pretty good. Now, last I checked, VATSIM tower was up. And they still are. So we'll see if they stay up. But we can definitely game plan a landing north scenario at Dallas with the way the winds were playing out. Should be breaking out of this weather here pretty in just about 10 miles or less. So we'll see how accurate that is. Oh man, I clicked the wrong one. We are not flying for Mac Air. But if you're looking for a very nice flight today, St. Louis, wow. We're just below 70 degrees. I mean, just below. It is flat out beautiful here, flying into the airports around St. Louis. If you're looking just for an easy, laid-back flight. If you're looking for one that's going to challenge you, New Orleans. Maybe Mobile. And then just kind of plan that a little bit on the eastward side. Oh, also up in the New York City area. They should be getting some weather here soon. Just in time for Godspeed's arrival. Out we come. I was going to say into a nice sun glare. Where is that coming from? Hang on, this looks too. Oh, wow.
Better take a picture of that.
I'm thinking about it. Wow.
Don't think, just do.
I am.
You seen those sometimes in the skies, those shades? Those like glare flickers.
They're a flicker.
Like where the clouds are at, right? Sometimes there would be like this outer ring around them, and it's like flickering a little bit, like around the cloud.
I know I've seen a little lightning from time to time, but I'm not certain about the flickering, but it probably is. Drome, the Doug God, welcome in. First time chat saying X-Plane got those clouds looking wild. Yeah, they really did a fantastic job. They've got a long way to go, I think. Just Drum. Okay. But yeah, they've got a ways to go, but they have really, really packed it in. Now, that doesn't look all that great. But what we saw in the front, wow. Maybe they'll get better here. Hang on. Because like I said, we are coming out of the main storm bank. They are making progress indeed there, Drum. Yes. And wow. And this part doesn't look all that great, but boy, leading into them though, wow. So, yeah, they're doing a great job with them. That'll probably be about all we'll see storm-wise now. Every radar I look at on Drum is following us now. Thank you so much for the follow. We sure appreciate you. And for the radars we see out here, we should be breaking free. We'll keep it at 160 for now on the range. Just in case maybe out by Dallas something is starting to brew. Probably not. Oh, there are some dots out there. Who knows? Could be just clutter. All right. So got a great crowd in for this flight. So we are just cooking along here. And speaking of which, we got about 40 to 45 minutes into DFW. And that's at about 200 miles to top of descent. Well, let's first take a look. Let me take a look at the whiny 4 here. I hope there's some cheese along the way with this whiny approach. All right, so 24 at Horco, 20 at Popsy, whiny at 12, 8,000 berm, 6,000 hills. So we'll set for 6,000 and let her do her thing. Now, if you look at our flight plan in VATSIM, it will say the BREE, B-E-R-E-E, and the number 3. That is if we're in South Ops, meaning we're landing north to south. We're landing south to north in Dallas right now. I don't think the winds have changed. Yeah, there's 010 at 13 with gusts to 22. And still just some scattered clouds at 3,400 we'll deal with on the approach. So not a bad deal at all into DFW. Let me put that out there for y'all so you all can get your grubby paws on the METAR. I am going to try one more time to see if this will work. I know through the documentation at American Virtual, they call it Sabre, that it shouldn't work. Doesn't mean, since they wrote that it began to work. AOC, page 2. Okay, that is not going to be able to give us that. Okay. All right. Well, what we were trying to do, American Virtual has a way through the Hoppy network to, and it's not a requirement, by the way, but they could send you the gate information that you were at your arrival airport, much like the real pilots. That's how they kind of know they want us at gate such and such. So when they get on the ground, yeah, we're going to gate such and such, and then ground rattles off 9 million different taxiways to get to that point. Or at least that's what it seems like sometimes. So, a friend of mine here on Discord told me that it's possible now. I can't figure it out. So, and I went through the documentation. I can't figure it out. So, either they're doing something else or I'm just not understanding what they're doing. But that's okay. We're having a pretty good day in this plane today. This has been fun. We're at 34,000. We're approaching about what are we at? Let's get on perf. About 150 miles out. So, and tower is going to be 126.55. So we'll dial that in for now. Whoops. And we'll just kind of see how it rolls. Now, currently, the real flight that flew this not long ago, Alpha 28, that's where they ended up. So let me pull that up. Oh, the 35s would prefer. Okay, we'll make that change en route here. We got plenty of time. All right, so we go to F plan. Actually, first off, let me save that page. Go back to flights. We're going to switch over to, hang on. I don't know what we're going to switch to. Hang on. What are we on? Departure arrivals. 35 center. Okay. All right, what's the difference between, oh, no, we're not flying 1-3. Okay, then we're going to go out to Bossy. Okay. All right, so how do we fix that here? Okay, find your airport with the runway. Click on it. Click arrival. We're going to go, what did we choose now? 35 center. Whiny. Maybe there'll be some cheese when we get there. Rama. And peanuts. Now is a good time to double check everything. Clues, Horko, Popsy, Brie. Let's see, Brie, Whiny, Howdy, Brems, Hills, Rama. Tuffo days. Jobs, runway. Good. And then Bossy to hold. Okay, perfect. We're set up for the arrival. Now 122 miles out of top of descent. Let me take a look here. All right, we'll go with that for now unless center were to come up and then bring us down. There you have it. We had to do a runway change in flight, and hopefully you all were able to follow along and put that in the, mark it in the back of the mind just in case you ever have to. Now, one thing, and what happens a lot of times when you do these, you're past, as in this case, if we were flying to Whiny, let's say we changed runways at, say, Horko. Okay, they changed us to coming in the opposite way. All right. So we're doing south ops coming down from the north. So we're landing on the 1.8s or the 1.7s. Now, you do all of that, you click execute, especially Boeing aircraft. You could immediately see the aircraft veer, and basically what it's doing is heading back to, in our case, PNUTS. So that's why you see me a lot of times keeping that heading square on with where I am. So when the airplane might do that, because I forgot about clearing it up to where I am, I can punch heading select. That'll write the plane back to the heading we were doing, and then adjust to whatever the next fix is. Go direct, boom, we're back on lateral navigation, LNAV. So keep that in mind. That is a lot of times what happens to pilots out here when they say their FMC isn't doing what I want it to. That's because they didn't foresee that it might go back to the fixes behind it. Especially say you're coming in on Lindy, they'll switch up your runway before Lindy. There's like 3 or 4 fixes behind you. Plane's it's actually done that to me once, and I was going back and I'm like, why am I going this heading? And then I realized what happened, and she turned back on course. I figured it out, got us direct Lindy, and advised the controller what's going on, who was then saying I couldn't figure out what was going on. So it's happened to me, folks. So I pass on the knowledge as I learn it through the School of Hard Knocks. All right, Peanuts and the Whiny for arrival dead ahead. All right, just looking over traffic. Okay. Oh, I think Dallas. I didn't even notice that. There's a ATIS, so something tells me we may be getting a center here in a minute. Or approach, one of the two. Ooh, company message. What's that? Telex. I got a gate assignment. Oh, how'd I do that? Holy mackerel. That's pretty cool. All right. So, what I was wondering if it would work, and it did. Before we pushed back, I think it was, maybe it was before takeoff, I did this on the ground there in Fort Myers. I put in the flight number, the route, all of that was put in automatically. I filled in the other stuff. We got within the 200 so miles, and bingo, we got we got our gate assignment, D21. Where the heck is D? Whoop, not there. Are you kidding me? I may have to switch back to the other one. All right, well, let's D21 right there. So if we go to 36 left, wow. That is just flat out unbelievable. Okay, now we're going to have to play it very carefully. Switching back to 36 left. All right, so we are direct brie. After a couple of runway changes, we're going to do the same over here. All right, we are close enough. We got to get over here. That is too cool. All right, perf. Oh yeah. Weather. Okay, so we can use this. So 30, make sure to put the dot in 07. Temperature here 24. Winds 0, 1, 0. Diagonal 13. ILS 36 left 200, or yeah, 200. All right, and as for brake setting, we'll go low. All right, we are just about to top of descent. That was just too cool. D21. Okay. All right, that was pretty cool. I'd almost want to do another American flight just to kind of show what I did. But it appears, in air quotes, that you can now, in the Toliss aircraft, get your gate assignments for the arrival. Now, you have to do this prior to departure, on the ground, preferably in the gate. Basically, all I did was go to that AOC page, click pre-departure, click and just fill, it should be filled in at that point, and X's in the station, I believe it says. And lo and behold, it came up. That was cool. And how I knew it? Right over here, it said company message. And I'm like, company message? Never had that before. Lo and behold, it worked. All right, we are 20 miles, top of descent. Let's go ahead, set in. You know what I'm going to just set in? Where are we? Whiny 4, 6,000. Now we're off the course just a little. It did not seem to pick up the rest of our fixes, which is fine. We can go to Bree. You're not very far off the, it's pretty much a direct run. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start us down. Going to go ahead and turn the seatbelts off for about 10,000 feet or so. Once we get into the mid to low 20s, then I'll turn it back on. So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's check in here. Hopefully Godspeed's flight's going well.
It's going good for right now. I'm almost about ready to land though.
Wow, look at you, Mr. Speed Demon. Is that for TWA or just for fun?
United.
United.
Yeah, United.
Nice. Well, I gotta say, this has been a fun flight. I'm kind of glad I did this flight. But I may still do that other flight as well. Look who's awake. I'll be right back, folks. Oh, that was hilarious. I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear that one. The first officer woke up from her nap, came in here, groggy, and finally came over to me, sat and watched the plane for a few minutes, and then the wife said, "You want to go let the dog outside?" Duck, 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 and just jumping for joy. She really wanted to go outside, obviously. It was just so cute. Gotta love grandkids. All right. Well, we are just into the final stages of our first flight with Beta 5 from X-Plane. Great so far. Great storms in the middle of this flight. Are there areas they need to work on with the clouds? Yes and no. I mean, we all would love to see things much better, but what you're seeing on your screen from my, from what we're producing here, this is what you get out of the box with X-Plane, not the aircraft. This is a pay where you got to pay money for it. Here's how you get your grubby paws on it. But the weather, the airports, they're all default. I haven't really looked to see if there's a good Dallas out there. Actually, right now, can't afford it. But we're getting there. We're working again. So hopefully we can build up some money, plus the subscriptions and biddies and donations and all of that help. I didn't see anything. And again, the other part is I want to fly there a lot. So if I put scenery in, like St. Louis, I fly there a lot. Where's the other one? Atlanta. We do a fair amount of business into Atlanta. Philly, we haven't done, and that's going to change. We're going to be heading that way here soon. Maybe our next flight out of Dallas, maybe. Who knows? But first things first, let's get back into this and get ready to land. Seatbelts on. Wing lights on. And 3007. Okay, altimeters are set. Another thing I want to do now that, wow, that telex thing, that is so, wait a minute. So cool. I had to think, what gate did the real plane go to? It wasn't that one. Is an RNAV approach. I was told I was doing it wrong. Well, flying it not wrong, expectations wrong. And we'll get into that. We're not going to mess things up right now. A few things I could have done different on this flight. We're not going to worry about it. But overall, we're doing pretty good. Verifying 11.9 and 11.9. Perfect. So we're ready to pick up the ILS when it becomes available. Chart-wise, we're a few miles from Bree, so I'm going to dial us in. And prepare for landing. Currently, no tower position at DFW, so just to make sure, .CTAF KDFW. Do what? That's what we're set up for. Okay. So once we get to about 5-ish miles out, we'll get on CTAF. Now, CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. That's what it stands for. VATSIM right now has it set up for us to use. So we're off the Unicom channel 122.8 in Canada, the US, Mexico, and the Caribbean. Outside of those areas, stay on 122.8 like most of you do anyway. When you get on to final approach, sometimes it's best to monitor Unicom for those that actually communicate they're doing something. Now, I will admit I forget sometimes, but yeah, you know, for those that, you know, forget. So, but remember that when you're into US, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean, hey, look up that CTAF. All you got to do is in your chat for whatever client you use, .ctaf space and whatever the 4-character identifier is of that area. And that includes small airports. By small, I mean 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 foot general aviation runways. I hate to break it to y'all. 122.8 is not what we talk on much. Some airports, yes. Most airports, no. There are a whole bunch of different frequencies you can find for those. They're on your sectional, but CTAF and that, and you'll get the frequency. All right, we're at 11,800. Do we have a speed restriction by chance? Not yet. I'm going to go ahead though and start us slowing. Now I do have a question for Toliss folk. All right, so we put the little messages here. Can I, you know, normally they hang them right here or here, and they can pick them up and look at them. Can I pick them up and look at them? All right, and then after this, it's 2:30 at all right, lights on. Okay. And now we're about ready to begin to set up for the ILS. Again, remember, we're going 3-6 left.
can't see anything.
Can't see anything. Open your eyes.
I am opening my eyes. It's cloudy as hell.
Yep. Good old instrument approach.
I definitely need to update these level ups, that's for sure.
Well, I had heard they had trouble, and that's why they stopped. But that's just a rumor, and don't know.
Trouble.
Something about the flight characteristics, something was wrong with them.
So
Or
they just
something.
give up on it?
No, they're trying to figure out what. So, all right, we need to come down to 4,000.
Yeah, I put a video up on Twitch not too long ago. That actually already has 11 views on it.
Whoops, not that way. Go the other way. There we go. It has 11 views. Nice. All right, we're starting to break out of the clouds for Dallas. All right, we're about to turn on the localizer. I believe I have the runway in sight already. No glide slope as of yet. There it is. Okay, put APPR in and it will start it on its own. Oh, I'm glad I didn't think that was the airport. I'd have been way off. Now I see the airport. Barely, but I see it. Okay, we'll set flaps 2. $10 miles out. Dallas Fort Worth common traffic, American 1281, 6 miles out on the ILS 36 left. Gear down. Flaps at 3. Flaps at 4. All the way. Okay, cabin's ready, ignition, spoilers, no smoking's on, we're good to land. Okay, we're fully set up for landing. I think it's time to take over. Right, man, it's like right down the runway. And Dallas traffic, American 1281, 2-mile final, 36 left. All right, stable landing.
Nobody put in landing predictions.
Don't think so, not even me.
You better better this.
And Dallas traffic, American 1281 is off 36 left to the gate D21.
Panama is 472.
Forward traffic, United 1181, turning final 35 center, Fort Worth.
I think I'm off by 1 on my gates.
Radio check.
Loud and clear.
Attention all traffic, DFW Tower is going to be active and online. Information, Charlie is going to be active. Wind is 360 at 16, gusting 22, altimeter 3005. DFW Tower, United 1181, inbound ILS 35 center. United 1181, DFW Tower, good afternoon. Runway 35 center, you're clear to land. Good afternoon, United 1181.
All right, we are on the ground, DFW. I'm actually going to switch to Unicom so I don't accidentally transmit. Okay, let's take a look at this. This was actually a fun flight. So they're
Accepted.
slowly coming into the plane. D18, okay. Oh, wow. Way off. Oh, well. Hey, we're close. Let's see what... I don't think this terminal's set up right. Oh, well. Okay, they got us a 260 Virtual American. We'll take it. All right, and let me just check one more screen with them. Wow, we got all our points on this one. 460 points. We'll take it. Nice. They got a review because they probably never seen this livery before, which is fine. They'll get to it. But again, landing with Virtual American, where was it? I always hate trying to find things in here. 260 feet a minute. Now there was a bounce and we touched down at 40 something, but it was, I only felt like a light lift off the ground, but you know, hey, we'll take it. Is it worth arguing? No. All right, Elevate Tech. There's that wall of storms we went through to get here. New batch starting to form up here. And let's see how we did here. looks like 259 feet a minute. So, hey, we'll take it. All right, now let's get to Sim Toolkit. They got us at 412. Boy, they are always rough on us.
I don't feel bad now because that's what I got.
Well, Sim Toolkits always seems to be a little, every now and then they beat the others, but most of the time they're pretty rough. So let's view the details here. Okay, it was a 2.5 hour flight, 800 miles, and 6,800 kilograms of fuel, 1.5 Gs, 412, and 117. I know where part of that's coming from, I think, is how they work off that speed. Okay, we landed 2,300 feet down the runway. That's actually not too bad considering. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're on the right runway. 3 feet off the center line. I'm not complaining much at all here, folks. Sorry. 412. Okay. Sorry, I might have spilt a little cafe on the Queen back there. But you know what? This was a good landing. The other two put us in the 200 range. And overall, this was pretty good. Now, the goal was right here. They've got us like right here. But this terminal is missing a lot of gates. Fair enough. We'll work with it. All right, so there you have it. Great flight, great time. Brakes too hot. All right, hang on. Yeah, we didn't kick the fans on, so here they come. And we'll kick the brakes off. Ooh, that sun glare. And there you have it. Sitting on the line here, folks, at Dallas Fort Worth. I hope y'all enjoyed. Now, what we're gonna do, let me check something. All right, well. I am right now debating what kind of time we have. All right, I'm trying to see if there is something close by. I'm not going to be able to fly the what I had hoped to fly now today. Got in just about an hour. Well, it got off the ground an hour late. So let's boy, I can't really pin down a flight. Hmm. I think I know a flight. What we'll do, yes, I know one we can fly. All right, well, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to close out this video for YouTube. I just realized I'm still running on and I could have had this closed out over there. And we're going to come back and we're going to fly from Memphis to St. Louis again, stream, and hope y'all enjoy in the Purple People Eater. So bear with me. Please stay tight. We're just going to shut down the YouTube side. So we're going to run the closing music, but we're not going off stream. So please hang tight for about a minute, minute and a half. We'll be right back.
So you're not going to Philly?
No, we don't have the time to go to Philly there, Godspeed. So I'd love to, but I'm going to actually switch to a different airplane. So hang tight, folks. We'll be right back. All right, folks, stand by here. Yeah, I know it's the wrong one. I should. All right, hang on. Let me get this resetting. Maybe yes, no, who knows? There it goes. All right, let me check. All right, bear with me. I got to do a couple things here. All right. Oh man, it was, oh no, it wasn't. All right. All right, let me just change this out real quick. Now, we're not going to fly this version. We're hoping okay, to come out of Memphis. All right, so kind of bear with me. I wasn't fully prepared to do this, but we will. I'm going to be right back, folks. Bear with me a second. I need to use the restroom and check on the little one. She's crying quite a bit. Hang on. 1-year-olds take a lot out of you. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Excuse me. All right, I'm getting X-Plane refired up right now. And like I said, we're just going to fly a short haul. Memphis to St. Louis. Most likely, not even going to turn, I think we just did a video on this, so all right. Actually, yeah, I will here in a second. I was looking at, oh yeah, hopefully that looks just like that when we get there. As soon as I get things up and going here. Hang on, let me double check nobody's hiding. Okay, nobody's hiding in my spot. Good. I'm actually going to try a different spot. Now, question to the masses. Do you want this on VATSIM? Or would you like me to use the XP12 default ATC? Default? You don't want to hear ground tell me that we're not allowed to use 2.7? Actually, I don't even know if a X-Plane 12 would allow it either. It may be a long taxi no matter what. Actually, I don't think I've used X-Plane 12 with this one, ATC. No, with the MD-11. Usually I've used it with other aircraft.
Only one sim will make you crazy.
See up here? Yeah, we're starting, but hang on a second. Let me get this title updated. Actually, it's easier to do it this way. What won't let you create an account? Huh. Top of my head, I'm struggling. Oh, Elevatech. Yeah, it may not be public release yet, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant to show it a lot. All right, title should have been changed. I got a couple more to do here real quick. And then I've got my two others that'll pop up during the stream that I'm getting fixed as well. There they go. Okay. So loadout of 140. Okay, well, we'll do all of this hopefully with you all. Okay,